Kids and e-bikes. Should they be allowed to be mixed together? Is it a good idea for them to mix together? Well, stick around because that's what we're going to get into today. Well, hello again, Internet. Welcome back to the channel. Yeah, I'm out on a kind of a relatively short ride today, and this subject kind of come into my mind as I was leaving out, and I wanted to toss it out there and get some of your thoughts on it. This video is going to be going out on Monday, and the last couple of Mondays I've been talking about regulations and bannings and things like that. And what I was kind of planning on doing was putting together a video that we're going to start giving an overview of the e-bike regulations state by state. And so that's what my intention was. Well, my lovely bride of 40 years come in and said, well, we're going away for the weekend. Let's go ahead and load up the bikes and go. Now it's supposed to rain, so we're still loading up the bikes, but I don't know how much riding we're going to get. Not really a road trip, just a weekend away. But while I am there, I am going to be looking at something. Uh-oh, that piqued a little interest. But we're not going to get back until Sunday evening, so that wouldn't give me time to edit out and upload a video for Monday. So I'm going to go ahead and get this one here that I was going to put in at some point. So kids and e-bikes, do they belong together? Check these kids out right here. Check this out. Now I know that's not really an e-bike. These are Stasic. They're little electric dirt bikes. This kid's 4 years old, 5 years old. He's out there ripping. He's out there ripping. And what I want you to see, what I want you to really notice is that woman there is his mom. And she's encouraging him. And she's right there keeping an eye, but guess what? She's not hovering over top of him. That's some good parenting right there. And I watch these kids, and he was not the only one because they have, they'll end up with getting about 30 or 40 of these kids in a race. And of course they all win, but and I'm just checking out this subdivision here, seeing what all they're doing with it. But there were other parents there, but I even watched this kid fall down a couple of times, and mom and dad, they watched, but they let him get up. They didn't go run over there, oh, poor baby, you're gonna be okay, I promise. Oh, they let him deal with it. And this kid here, he's learning life lessons that will stay with him forever. And it's not just about how to ride a bike or a motorcycle. I promise you that. He's learning a lot more than that. When I was younger, I was climbing on some pretty wild horses at a very young age. And my parents were around, but they weren't. They let me learn. They let me learn. When I started riding the motorcycles, they coached me for a little bit on the basics, and then they stood back and let me learn, and they would stand back further and further and further. Matter of fact, by the time I got to where I was racing, it was probably a couple years before they came to a race. And I thought they wasn't really interested in it, but they was. But they wanted me to become my own man. I started out at, I don't know, 13, 14, maybe 14 years old. I was probably 16 and doing pretty good before they showed up. And like I said, it wasn't that they didn't want to, it was that they didn't want to be in my way. They wanted to allow me to learn. Nowadays, a lot of parents, they just take their kids and hand them a phone or an iPad and stick them in front of a television. They just want the kids to be out of their way. Well, this is new here. They haven't been down this far with the road before. So that's a bit of a new section here. I'd mentioned before, this all used to be farming fields, and well, hadn't been planted in a few years, and the farmer passed away, and the kids, well, they didn't want nothing to do with farming. That's too hard of a life. And so now they're going to start growing houses here. But yeah, one of these days we're going to miss the things that used to grow here, you know, food, stuff like that. But yeah, it is what it is. But you know, the same thing when I was riding the horses. They were backing away more and more and more and letting me learn things. And these were things I didn't even know it at the time. You know, things that I was learning on the motorcycles and on the horses. And I don't care about if it was climbing a tree. You know, we were learning lessons that went well beyond climbing trees or riding horses or riding motorcycles. So, you know, in that aspect, hey man, let these kids get out here and learn. Let them educate themselves. Don't let regulations get in the way of a good education. You know, I was taking my daughter somewhere, and the principal said, I was telling him about it when she was, I guess, in elementary school, and he said, well, you know, I hate to see her missing school. You know, we're not going to let the school system get in the way of her education. So we went ahead and did our trip. But so, okay, the kids on e-bikes. Well, Blaine's all for it. Well, I don't know. Because now let's talk about them out on the streets. I think that probably needs to come down to a community guidelines. I would say this much, and I am a strong advocate for this, is, well, that's all new there too. This is all new. It looks like it's going to be a new entrance. We'll go down there and take a look at that here in a little bit. I'm a strong advocate of the Class 1, Class 2, and Class 3 e-bikes still get treated like bicycles. That's what it's been established as, and that'll need to be changed now. Holy cow, they got a road going out this other way as well? Wow. I see a tree stand down there on the sides. So I am a huge advocate of let the Class 1, Class 2, and Class 3 e-bikes be exactly what they are, e-bikes. Well, what about kids on things like these Teleras and Surons and stuff like that? You know, out on the roads, I don't have a problem with saying they're not allowed to be out there. We used to not be allowed to ride our dirt bike on the road. That doesn't mean we didn't do it sometimes. And that's a dead end down there, but we're going to see where this one here goes out to. We went ahead and rode them, and a lot of times we just ride side saddle, and if we seen the po-po coming, we'd jump off and run alongside of it like, yeah, man, I'm just pushing it. We got away with that a couple times. We didn't get away with it a couple times too. But out on the streets, yeah, I could see the faster ones not allowing the kids out there on them. But you know, like California saying you can't even ride an e-bike if you're, I think, under 12. Is that overreach by the government? Are they trying too hard to protect us from ourselves? Yeah, well, I've thought that for a long time. But I want to know what you think, what your thoughts are on it. Kids on e-bikes, should they be at least 12? Should they be 16? Should they be 18? Well, I'll tell you what, I might end up getting lost in through here. There's all kinds. They're building quite the neighborhood here. That looks like a cul-de-sac there, so we're going to cut up this way and see where we're at. My stance on it is, if it's Class 1, Class 2, and Class 3, number one, that should be left as a bicycle, and kids are allowed to ride bicycles. So, you know, leave them alone. Leave them alone. Let them learn. Let them learn. Let them take their lumps when they need to. But you've also got these kids that are out there. I don't know. I've not seen this though. You know what? I keep hearing this. I was going to say you also got these kids out there that are raising Cain everywhere. But I'm going to be honest with you. I've not seen that, and I've been all over the Mid-Atlantic riding e-bikes. They're going to carry this on out to the road. Let's go see where it's going to go. They haven't waved it out yet. Come on, you idiot, Blaine, you're on a mountain bike. I've not seen that in all the traveling and riding around that we've done in the mid-Atlantic. I have seen one time, I think it was a girl, was riding a Sur-Ron type motorcycle out on the bike paths. And she wasn't really going real fast, probably faster than the speed limit on the bike path was, but I don't know that she was going over 28. Maybe she was, maybe she wasn't. It looks like this is going to be another cul-de-sac down here. Yeah, this will be another cul-de-sac here. Yeah. But other than that, you know, in well over 3,000 miles of riding bike paths and stuff, I've never seen a bunch of kids out there. Woohoo, here comes that wind. Holy cow. Holy cow. Blow me away. Never seen kids out there raising cane. Matter of fact, wow, that wind come in strong. I hope y'all can still hear me. But as a matter of fact, most of what I see on e-bikes are older couples or individuals that are out for a leisure ride. I'll tell you what, that wind is about to blow me away. Woo! But what are you seeing in your area? Tell us your area, just your general area, you know, city or state. And are you seeing a bunch of kids giving problems on e-bikes? Because I've not seen that anywhere, and I'd be real interested in that. All right, I think that's getting my thoughts out there on the kids on e-bikes. I'm kind of for it, but I'm also for smacking these parents upside the head and tell them, hey, keep a bit of an eye on your kid. Don't hover over them, but, you know, make sure they understand what they should be doing. Give me your thoughts on it in the comments down below. And like I said, tell me where you're at. And if you see that kids are a big problem on e-bikes, and if they are they on the legal e-bikes? And I'm talking, when I say legal, I'm talking the 1, 2, and 3 class. So, yeah, that's going to wrap it up. We're still working on I'm still working on putting together about the, basically we're going to do a general overview of the laws and regulations state by state. And we'll hit a bunch of states at one time in a video. So we're gonna share all of that with y'all. I have made some contact with People for Bikes, and very encouraged with the contact that I've made so far on that. And I still got to dig just a little bit deeper, but that's looking extremely promising. And what do we got? That's going to be another cul-de-sac down there. I'll tell you, they're just putting an entire neighborhood in here. Yep. And yeah, for this weekend, we're going to be out, and don't know, we might get our biking rained out, but that's okay. I get to spend some time with that lovely bride of mine. I don't care if I'm on a bike or not. When she's there, she's the #1 focus. So that's going to wrap it up. Hey, you want to keep up to date with what we got going on? You might even get a chance to see what we're checking out this weekend. Well, hit the subscribe, hit that like. We really appreciate it. We've been blown away by the response we've been getting. Very, very appreciative of it. So I think that's going to go ahead and wrap it up for this one. Hey, till the next one, this is Southern E-Biking telling you, stay safe, God bless, and keep the wheels rolling. Once again, I'm out.